Are maybe a few weeks or a few days away from giving that dreaded icebreaker speech. It is an evolving journey that we're on when we join Toastmasters. And I put it into perspective with an old Hindu legend that said that at one time, all men were like gods. But what happened is man misused the Godhead, and the great god Brahma decided to remove the Godhead from man so he could never find it again. Monday morning, he got together a council of lesser gods, come up with a plan. You always need a plan. So the gods got together, started to formulate plans. And the first god suggested to Brahma that they bury it in the deepest part of the earth. Thought about it for a while, and he said, well, one time man is going to search for precious metals like gold and silver. He might just stumble upon it. A second god, after maybe more forethought, he suggested that they put it in the deepest part of the ocean. And again, God Brahma, realizing that one day we'd have Jacques Cousteau, we'd have people that explored the deepest parts of the ocean, he nixed the idea. The gods were getting a little scared of making any kind of recommendation. But a third god said, let's put it on the highest mountain. But Everest has been climbed so many times since the 1950s, and the god Brahma, with his wisdom, said, that's not going to work with man might climb every mountain, as the sound of music goes, climb every mountain. So finally, the god of wisdom, the god Ganesha, whispered into Brahma's ear. And the god Brahma nodded knowingly, and he said, that's where we'll put it. We'll put it inside a man himself, because he'll never think to look there. And ever since men have been digging, climbing, and searching for that vast power that lies within each and every one of us. Last year I had the opportunity to meet Ed Tate, the 2000 world champion of public speaking. And for anybody who's new, we have an annual contest where 30,000 people around the world participate to be named that #1 best speaker in the world. They then become motivational speakers at six-figure salaries. And Ed Tate is originally from Tampa, fantastic presenter. But at a Sunday morning conference, as we were wrapping up the spring conference last year, he said that no one joins Toastmasters simply to be able to give 5 to 7 minute speeches at Toastmasters. You join for many different reasons. Perhaps it's to enhance your career. Maybe you want to become a motivational speaker like Shlomo, who represented our club so well and rose right to the very precipice of becoming the District 48 Toastmaster of the Year or the best speaker. Or you may be just like me. You just like to get out of the house and have something to do on Tuesday nights. But whatever it is an opportunity to improve your presentation skills. And when I look back on my journey in Toastmasters, I think of many times that I thought that maybe I speak a little too fast, or maybe I have that New York accent, and they can tell, even though I tell them it's been 2 years before I got rid of it. Or maybe I don't pause a whole lot. I tell people I pause, and they think about it, and they say, you're really just breathing. But whatever it is, I always thought I had to be perfect. And I realized in reflecting that it isn't so much about being perfect. It's about just improving, just getting better, making sure you're not gauche. It's the opportunity to be better next week than you are this week. So if I think of some of those little ideas that really were helpful to me, one is make eye contact. And it's something that I still work at. And sometimes if my speech is not as rehearsed, is not as much inside of me, I tend not to make eye contact. Somebody suggested that you make eye contact 1 set of eyes per thought, or 1 set of eyes per 5 to 8 seconds. And that's much better than when I was in the 8th grade and somebody said, you're going to be nervous, everybody's nervous. Just look at the clock in the back of the room. And the people who are sitting at the last table will say, why is that guy looking at the clock in the back of the room instead of looking at me? But if I look at you, I'm really connecting with you as an audience member. Pausing is pretty good. Someone suggested pausing is something you could do. And I actually read that you can pause before you say something significant, and you can pause after you say something significant. That was an eye-opener to me. One other suggestion that I had was, don't rehearse your speech, rehearse your ideas. And when I was giving one of the first speeches in Toastmasters, a voice coach came up to me and she said, "You rehearsed your speech, didn't you?" I says, "Yeah." "Well, why did you know?" She said, "I saw your eyes roll back in your head twice as you were looking for where is that place in your speech." And I know now for me that I'm retired, I have a little bit more time to rehearse the speech, but it still begins with me rehearsing the ideas and doing it with bullets. And the thing is, we tend to speak faster at the meeting than we do when we rehearse. So the best way to rehearse is to do it really very slowly. And then when you're at the club delivering your speech, hopefully the moderation, the speed will be a little bit better. Mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor is someone who's going to help you along your journey. I think that you need to get a mentor and think about being a mentor. You could even mentor somebody who's an experienced speaker. Maybe it's somebody like me who doesn't think they're very funny, and maybe I may be wanting to deliver my first humorous speech, and you're the really funny guy in the Toastmaster Club, and you can help me as I continue on that journey. So mentoring is very, very important. And finally, I think that the most valuable lesson I learned in Toastmasters is we are so much more powerful as speakers when we tell a story. So you think about your own life, things that have happened in your life. Keep a little journal. If you have a speech that maybe is coming up next month, or you're thinking of doing speech number 7, write down those little incidents that happened, because you may forget about it. And those could be the kind of the nutshell that you use for the rest of your Toastmaster journey. Famous basketball coach John Wooden, who coached UCLA to many, many titles. It's what we learn after we know it all that really matters. And so for me, after 17 years, I realized I don't know it all when it comes to public speaking, but I also don't need to. I can still get better, and I can still work at these basic skills that will allow me to be a more effective Suncoast Toastmaster, woman-friendly.
Yay!